You know, they're very direct. They come to spoil people's games. They come to try and dominate you mentally and physically as much as anything. You know, the way they play is grinding for other teams if they don't deal with it. And I couldn't see any other result other than 0-0 and blow the whistle as soon as you can, ref. Let us go home. And then, you know, a rash moment from two of our defenders, and then, you know, a penalty is given away. So it is frustrating that we couldn't just see out a 0-0 and take a point and move on to Bradford unbeaten. But you know, that is the story of our season. Possibly is that if one end it doesn't go right, it goes wrong at the other. So it's frustrating. Yeah,
you can't you know, fault the guys' effort, but in the first half in particular, there was more headers in that first half than there were accurate passes. I'm talking from either team, both teams. It was just dreadful to watch, Darren. It must be from the sidelines as well.
Yeah, we've had it videoed, so I'm deciding whether to watch that one or Barcelona Real Madrid at some point over the weekend. So it's going to be a close one as to what I do. But you know, we have to be professional, and I've got to pick the bones out of it and speak to people about certain things. But yeah, the delivery forward at times wasn't very good, and you know, ultimately we didn't do very well in the final third. So the players have got to roll their sleeves up. They've got to start earning the money, and you know, if someone dwells on the ball in this league, they get tackled. But ultimately, if they're looking up and there's not enough runs forward, there's not enough movement for them to give them the ball. I hear fans' frustration about moving the ball and getting it on the deck and passing it, but if you are looking up and some of your teammates aren't moving for you and aren't wanting the ball from you, then ultimately you've got to get rid of it. And you know that at times that's what has to happen in this league. You have to make runs very quickly, you have to play the ball very quickly. If you dwell, you give possession away, and frustration setting all over the place.
As you hinted at in your opening remarks there, Darren, the only way this game was going to be settled was from something like a penalty, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it
and
was.
That's how it worked out.
Or a mistake. And give Gloucester credit, you know, like I said to you, that's the way they play, and that's the frustrating thing about what they do. They strangle games, and they've, you know, he's got a limited budget. We spoke before the game about what Dave would get Gloucester to do, and that's exactly what they do. And they're looking for mistakes, and they're looking to try and put you under that kind of pressure, and then, you know, just a rash decision, a moment of madness, and he's gone across a little bit too quickly and not been able to get the brakes on, and the lad's been cute, hasn't he, and seen him coming.
Very frustrating for you, Darren, to see uplifting performances against Altrincham and particularly Chester, and now two downbeat displays against Hinckley and Gloucester this afternoon. Yeah,
I'm hugely frustrated from a lot of the boys, and they've just been told that, and you know, at times, so as manager I take responsibility for the performances, of course I do, but ultimately I think every time you go out on that pitch, you have to come off it sitting next to your teammate, knowing that you can look him in the eye and say you've given 100%. So ultimately now, you know, the gauntlet is going to get thrown down as we run out of games. You know, that it comes to the end of the season, we're close to the, you know, we're not away from relegation trouble by any means. People have got to roll their sleeves up, and they've got to start earning the money, and the onus has got to be put on the players to start putting some performances in that are going to get us the points that we need.
And not a lot of changes you can make, because we've got injuries out. Kyle's going to be out for a while still, and Anthony Wright with a hamstring, Joe Greenhalgh with a shoulder and rib injury. That is, and Joe McGee going back to Morecambe, Jordan Connaughton still out. It's difficult for you. Any hopes of getting some new faces in on loan before before Monday, but certainly maybe next weekend?
Yeah, just thanks for that list, Walsh. That's cheered me up no end. Can I just add David Houston to that as well? He can't play on Monday, so yeah, we've got to try and make some phone calls tomorrow on my day off, and try and get some.
Are all them lads out on
yeah,
Monday?
They won't be involved on Monday. So, you know, we tried this week to try and get one or two players in. It didn't happen. So avenues that we tried to go down on Thursday and Friday, I'll have to try and open them again Sunday and tomorrow and Monday, and try and beat the deadline for Monday night's game. But you know, I don't want to bring players in that aren't going to do the job that they're asked to. So it's not so much putting bodies into a squad, but also it's got to be the right ones. You know, our fans come and pay lots of money, and ultimately they want to see a team that can do their team, their town justice. So it's a difficult juggling act between getting bodies there, but also ones that are going to be able to do anything when they are there.
I've been giving you a hard time so far, Dan. You're not going to enjoy this one either. Bradford 6-1 winners here earlier in the season. They just won 7-0 today, by the way.
Excellent. So maybe they might rest them lot and put their second string out on Monday. Hey, and you know, that's this league. They've got good firepower. They've got a good squad of players. It'll be tough if we'd have come away from beating Gloucester 3-0. It would still have been tough on Monday night. So regardless of Bradford's result, we knew it was always going to be a tough game. So yeah, I didn't. I was going to look at that result later on, but now I don't need to. Thank you.
But finally, a team like Bradford will play a bit of football, and that's better when we face these teams. I think we do better against the better footballing teams.
Well, you know, we've got to have our mentality changed, haven't we, from what we've seen in the last 2 games, where teams have come and dominated us a little bit, and we haven't been able to deal with that and get the ball down and pass it properly. So, yes, you know, we've got to be mindful also that the fitness levels and the energy that Bradford put into that second half performance against us was one of the best I've seen. So, you know, there is never an easy game, Walsh, on the back of their 7-0 and our 1-1.
Yeah, but
our 1-0 defeat is going to be a tough one.
But we did that against Chester. I mean, we did that. How Bradford played against Chester.
Yeah, so then, you know, you ask your players, you look your players in the eye and you say, oh, where's Chester gone? So, you know, let's hope Chester comes back on Monday night.
That's what we're looking for. Anyways, Darren, I'll let you have a nice weekend, and sit back and I'll see you on Monday.
Thanks, John, I appreciate that, thank you.